worked with Wiz, you worked with Boosie, Rocco. I can keep going. Your last mixtape had Rocco, a whole bunch of crazy people on it.
Yeah.
But what one artist was just like, it just really was something special to work with?
Well, first of all, with my features, one thing I never done and I never believe in is paying for a feature. You feel me? Because it's all about respect. Like, you know, when an artist able to jump on a feature or a song with you because they respect you, your grind, or they like you as an artist, or they just fuck with you as a person, that means a whole lot more than an artist just hopping on it because you paid them. I never paid for a feature, and I had pretty much anybody in the industry on the record. And these dudes, like I said, I make phone calls and text messages. I talk to people, and that's how I get my work done, hands-on, no middleman, none of that. So with that being said, like anybody I work with, that been a relationship, so it have to be like, if I'm hitting a Rocco or a Boosie, and one thing about Boosie, before Boosie got locked up, I was at his crib. We was working on some music. I was putting out my first Gangsta Grill. That week he got locked up, he also had hopped on the ice cream paint job. That was at that time. He had did a remix to it, and we was working on some stuff on my Gangsta Grills. Never got to put it out because when he got locked up, they took his computer. And I remember the night I left his crib, his cousin, which is the engineer Big Wayne, was like, "Hey, you want to take this session a night?" And that was just everything we had. And I was like, "Just email it to me." I wasn't thinking, you feel me? If I would just took it, then I would have had all this stuff. But long story short, he got locked up that week, and then they took his computer, and I never got the stuff from him. So when he got out, you know, we linked at the car show, and we just chopped it up. Like, it was just like we was in the same mode where we left when he went in. So it's real special, the record we did, because, you know, we just got back on the same page. You know, I hit him and we talked for a while. Then he hit me one day and told me to send him the record. Told me to send him a record that's gonna, you know, that I feel like that he gonna fuck with. And I sent them that record, to Beat Up the Block. Man, he probably sent it back like the next day. You know, rapped with me for a little while about it and was excited about it. And honestly, and it ain't because he on my song. Till this day, since he been out, I feel like that's the best verse he done put out. Like, I mean, because in a lot of the deals, I feel like a lot of the industry don't know what Boosie sound good on. They just putting them on, you know, they on the hype. A lot of people didn't really just jam them like how we do in this region, so they don't know the sound. You feel me? So I feel like I'm one of the first to really capture the sound that he sound good on. A lot of people just put him on records, and he doing it because of the hype, which is smart. As an artist, you're trying to get your buzz. You're gonna hop on if a big artist hits you up, and you know you're gonna hop on it. You try to get your buzz up. But if they ain't coming with the right record, it ain't gonna translate right. And I feel like this is one of the first records to translate. And like I say, it ain't because it's my record. Like, that's the type of record he would do on his own for his project. So I think like that when I'm working with artists. I don't just try and make no song, man. It ain't no point. I try and make a hit record and be a hit before the artist is on there. Then, because a lot of people think if you put an artist on a song, it's a hit. You could put Michael Jackson on a song or whoever the biggest artist in the world is on a song, and it ain't gonna make it a hit record. Like, people gonna go probably listen to that artist, but once they listen to it that one time, it ain't gonna grab them because it's not a hit record. So I focus on making the hit first, then doing the feature, and I feel like that's what I did with this one.
Describe, you know, the type of person Boosie is when you're around him. You know, a lot of people want to work with him, but they don't have that chance. You're one of the few who's gifted and blessed enough to work with him. Yeah. Describe him as a person.
Well, in 2009, I went on my first tour, and on that tour, the Rush Part tour, was me, Lil Boosie, Latoya Luckett, the New Boys, Ace Hood, Yo Gotti, and like a couple other people. We was out on this tour. It was a morning tour. It's crazy. In the Midwest, every show at 8 o'clock in the morning, because it's a back to school. It's like around this time. It's a back to school thing, but every show is packed full of like high school kids, colleges, you know, and little kids. It's just a big ass stadiums full of packed people at 8 o'clock in the morning. So that was kind of different. But on that tour, that's when me and Boosie really kind of like, you know, vibed out. You feel me? We saw each other, of course, every day at the show, but he just a real nigga. You feel me? It ain't even about the music. Like, with him, you know, he just real oriented with like fucking with you as a person, and that's how I am. Like, we can do music all day long, but if I don't fuck with you as a person, then even the music ain't gonna translate. It's a work then. It's just like, all right, let's do this, knock this out. But Boosie more like a nigga you gonna be around, you feel me? And on top of that, he's supportive. You know, he always got something positive to say. Like, he done told me a lot of shit that was just, you know, just real shit on just how to, you know, focus on what I need to focus on. You know, and I respect shit like that because honestly in this game, everybody look at this shit so much as competition that a lot of times the next artist ain't gonna tell the next artist nothing because he feel like in competition, even if he portraying that he fuck with him. And like one Boosie, it's a lot of niggas like that. It's a couple niggas I fuck with like that, like Gotti, Boosie, Waka, Rocco, you know, these some of the niggas who I fuck with the long way, you feel me? But Nipsey, yeah, these some of the niggas I fuck with the long way because it's bigger than just the music, you know what I'm saying? So I have to say, like, just working with me, it's phone calls, everything, you know, we call and talk, you feel me? So it's just, that's different right there. A lot of people can't do that in the industry. A lot of niggas scared of that. And when I mean they fear that, like, you'll be surprised, like, niggas really fear that you can chop it up with an artist, meet somebody, and then be like, I want to wait for the work, or for the work, try and hit them, and they ain't that type of person to talk on the phone because it ain't in them like that. You know what I'm saying? They kind of just, it's a show everywhere they go. So when they just told you they gonna fuck with you, it's kind of an act. But at the same time, it's like, you know, artists who respect each other, not like that. Sometimes it could be the artists don't really respect what your grind, which a lot of people got to understand too. Like, if you don't put in that work, the artist ain't gonna respect it. Like me, I don't respect nobody who don't put in that work. I just don't. Like, I don't give a fuck what you say you doing or what you trying to do. I don't respect it. And another thing I don't respect is I don't respect like niggas try to buy their way in this shit. You feel me? Like, you can't do it. You wasting your money. You wasting your time, and you really you really disrespecting yourself because what you doing is you skipping the work. And then if you do so-called get to a platform where you're trying to get to, it's gonna fall because you pay for it. So like everything to me is just all about respect, putting in that real work and making good music. All that shit gonna prevail over everything else.